y'all. Yeah, man. This is the future. This is the future, y'all. You know what's funny? I was listening to some old school music, and I love the '80s music. Anybody that was brought up in the '80s, you know what I'm talking about. Classics, right? And while I'm reading the comments, somebody left a very interesting comment. They said in 1980, we were all saying, I can't wait to the future. I can't wait to the future. It's going to be great. Fast forward, now we're in the future, 2024. Let's go back to the 80s. Let's go back to the 80s. You know what I'm saying? I find that comment funny as hell. I mean, it's real, you know? Like, I remember growing up as a child, as a young buck, everybody talking about the future, flying cars and all that stuff. Now we got Tesla, which I feel as though is just ridiculous. I be seeing people at the Tesla booth. You know what I mean? Ain't no one in the world me sitting there charging a car. It just looks stupid. To me it does. Maybe to you it don't. You know what I mean? But this is really not the future that people was expecting. Back to the Future, like the movies. You know what I'm saying? But this wasn't the future that everybody wasn't expecting. You know what I'm saying? You look at today's time, people in the future are even dumber today. You know, why is that? People back in the day was smarter, but back in the day we had less technology. Why were people smarter with less technology? Because we read more. Well, not me. Back in the day I didn't read nothing. I do all my reading now. You know what I'm saying? But back then I was one of those little bots too. But it wasn't my fault. I wasn't raised right. You know what I'm saying? So I told the judge I was raised wrong. So, but welcome to the future now. We're in the future. They came out with the movie Idiocracy. They're letting you know that there's a plague that happened to the people. What kind of plague is that? What kind of plague is that, D? What kind of plague is that? It's called the dumb plague. That's what it is. Everybody's dumb. We surrounded by a bunch of dumb, I call them smart dummies. Bunch of people that's uneducated, but for some strange reason, they think that they're smart. They don't read nothing. They don't investigate. They haven't been to school, no type of schools, nothing at all. And I'm not saying that their schools is, the way to go or nothing like that, but at least you can still. I'm gonna keep it gangster. Even when I was going to school, I'm not gonna just shoot the schools down. Cause even when I was going to school, there was some stuff that you can learn in school. It's just that I'm gonna take the blame. I'm gonna bite what they say, bite the bullet. I was just plain old lazy. You see what I'm saying? When I was going to school, I was plain old lazy. You know what I mean? But the schools got those rules, though. Leave no children behind. So they push everybody on out. You know what I mean? Because I always felt back then, like, man, how did I make it out? I should have never made it out of there. I played around. But hey, man, that's how it is, man, when you in these urban schools. They just push you on out to the streets. Push you on out to the wolves. This is why it's important to become self-aware and self-educated. You know what I'm saying? This is, like, at least go to school, though, and get the fundamentals, like the necessities, as far as, like, reading, writing, arithmetic, stuff like that. All that other stuff, you could just put, throw it to the wayside. You know what I mean? But you want to learn, you want to at least know how to read, because at least, when you leave school, you can at least do your own homework. You know what I'm saying? After you graduate, you can still get books and stuff, and you can go ahead and invest in your knowledge, because there's tons of books out here that you can pick up and read for yourself. So if you know how to read, then you have a best friend for life. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with math. You know what I mean? They always say that math is the universal language. Everything is math. Everything is arithmetic. Everything is mathematics, numerology. And the Bible is a book called Numbers. You know what I'm saying? So you are a number. Your social security. You know what I'm saying? If you get locked up, they give you a number. It's a barcode. Everything, you got numbers on your food packaging. When you buy something, a book or whatever, they got a barcode on the back. Everything is a number. You know what I mean? Everything is a code. This whole matrix is a code. You know what I'm saying? When you watch the movie The Matrix, it was zeros and ones and zeros. You know what I mean? So, obviously, it must be true that this is numerology. You know what I mean? The universe talks to you with numbers. 111, 333, 222. You know, so I see it every day. It's a simulation. It's a simulation. You know what I'm saying? So, but this right here is the future, man. They got us, roboticized, caught up with this technology, and this is how we looking. You know what I'm saying? We, all these virtual games and these metaverses and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They basically, got us trapped. We're trapped inside of a machine. It's like they put the machine inside you. They put technology inside your body without your consent. You don't even know. You don't even know you got a body filled with... the average person don't even know that they got a body filled with nanotechnology. They put in technology in your body every day. You don't even know. And then you wonder why you roboticized. You wonder why you out here gang stalking people. You wonder why gang stalking makes sense to you. Well, what I gotta do? Just put on a red shirt and harass somebody? Well, that sounds like a great job. You see what I'm saying? Like, anybody in their right mind would be like, man, if you don't get your crazy behind out of my face, gonna ask me would I take a job like that? Anybody that got that right in their right frame of mind. But when you out of your mind, you would be desperate to take any type of job for any type of income without even thinking. Because the average person out here don't think anyway. But let me show y'all something real quick. Alright, right here. This right here shows you that we still got a lot of bots on the planet. Now it says new poll right here. 74% worry Americans could lose our freedoms if we're not careful. 74% said that, y'all. 74. So therefore, even though I know that the percentage of bots and NPCs is greater than this, but right here we got this little statistic, and as you can see, that's the date right there, July 4th. So this is what the statistics is showing. 74% of Americans could lose our freedom. This right here shows you that people are still deaf, dumb, and blind. Because number one, you believe that we're free. You see what I'm saying? So anybody that still think that they're free, you just delusional, basically. 74%. What do you mean lose our freedom? You was never free. That's the whole illusion of the Matrix. Like, you still lost until you wake up and realize that. I mean, the moment you came out your mother's womb, you were never free. You was basically born into bondage. A lot of y'all need to go back and watch The Matrix over and over and over. Need to go and watch it over and over and over. What did Morpheus tell Neo? That you are a slave, Neo. You were born into bondage. You are in a prison that you cannot see, taste, or smell. You were never free. This is the whole illusion. This is what they mean when they say that the world is illusion. The world is illusion. Everything is an illusion. It's not what you think it is. It ain't no such thing as free. The Constitution, that was just some, that was just, basically a psyop. That basically, you know what I'm saying? Just to give you that illusion, just to think that you're not free. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, once you study the straw man, you will see that you're not free because they gave you a dead birth certificate. You see what I'm saying? So, and they took your live one and they got it in the stock exchange making money off of it. You see what I'm saying? So, they're basically pimping you. We're all being pimped. Everybody. But and I know it's going to be hurt, it's going to hurt your feelings, but hey, get over it. You need to know this. Dry your tears. You know, what they say, dry your eyes. Here come your mother with those two little guys. You know what I'm saying? Just dry them. Get over it. Yeah, the Jesus Christ dying on the cross for your sins is a myth. Yeah, you was never free. You know what I'm saying? You was born into slavery. Get over it. Yeah, you was being gang stalked since birth. Get over it. You need to know these things so you can put it behind you. And you must press forward. You must grow. See, we gotta get rid of that ego. We people have a tendency of don't want to let go of this ego of being wrong. If you wrong, you wrong. It ain't nothing wrong with being wrong. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody, you can't be right all the time. You know what I'm saying? Don't feel they always use that wrong when use that word, but don't just feel hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because oh man, I was believing in this religion all my life, man, and come to find out it was a lie. Like get over it, dog. You know what I'm saying? Just get over it. Nobody told you to believe it in the first place. Well, they did tell you to believe in it, but you didn't have to. You chose to do it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to believe in it. You made that decision that, you know what? I want to believe in this. You didn't investigate. You see what I'm saying? You just jumped up and just bit the bullet. You see what I'm saying? So just basically get over it. You got to understand that we're born into a video game filled with lies and illusions. And right now we are in the Aquarius age that all this stuff is being pushed out. And even in the biblical scriptures where Jesus said there's nothing hid that shall not be made manifest. So right now we are in that time that the truth is out, the technology is out, the laptops, the internet, the YouTubes. You got DB Gangstalk Simulation. We're bringing forth the truth. There's a lot of people out here that's true speakers out here putting this on the forefront for you to see it. For you to have ears to hear and eyes to see. You know what I'm saying? What the Spirit says into the churches. So now you're without excuse. So if you want to continue to still be lost in the sauce, then that's just your choice and your decision. But you don't have to remain there. If you decide to remain there, then that's on you. You see what I'm saying? But right now, there's no reason to be ignorant. There's no reason. You shouldn't be. Because we got too much tech. You got a smartphone in your hand. You have a smartphone. Why are you dumb? It don't make sense. Don't let AI outdo you. Learn as much as you possibly can. At least what's important, really. And I feel as though what's important is waking up out the matrix. Detaching from this beast. Realizing that, okay, yes, I was born in bondage. I was a slave, but I'm taking it back. I'm taking my rights. I'm taking my freedom. You know, I'm taking my sovereignty back. Separate yourself from this corporation. You know what I'm saying? Continue to do the legal matters. I'm still on mine. You best believe it. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, you are slave by contract. And that's just a fact. I don't care what you say. No, man, not me, D. I don't care what you say. You are a slave by contract. This is you must give it to them. You got to take your hats off to these archons that created this simulation, man. They did a real good job by deceiving the population. A real good job. They deceived the heck out of us, man, here in America. You know what I'm saying? So this right here, like I said, 74%, y'all still think y'all got freedom. Tony, you're gonna lose something. How you gonna lose something that you never had? How you gonna lose something that you never had? You never had freedom. You know what I'm saying? They used you. They used you in the stock exchange. You know what I mean? And they used your blood, sweat, and tears to build America. You got a job, don't you? What you a construction worker, iron fitter, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You doing a desk job, you working at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? You doing groceries, delivering food, whatever you doing. You security, whatever you doing it in the name of the beast. They're gonna tax you. They give you a little pump behind job, but they're gonna tax you. They're gonna step on your check before you get it. And it's crazy when you think about that. Like, how are we even okay with that? Well, I get it back at the end of the year, D. I get it back. That's not the point. You know what they doing with your money? They building more FEMA camps for your behind. That's what they doing with your money. They give you something back. Yeah, they give you something back. Some get it. Some people don't. You gotta claim all these kids to get it back. What if you ain't got no kids to claim? You ain't getting it back. So they step on your check. You know dang old well you ain't gonna allow me to step on your check. You get paid today. Let me come and take your check and take 50%, 25% out that check. You ready to fight me, but you scared to fight the beast. And with that being said, y'all, I'ma holler back. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Stop touching your toes. Stop allowing the beast to take control over you. Stand up like a man to throw down. Holla back.